Hello everyone, welcome to this week's market analysis video with me, Frankie, your market analyst at Markets4U. Today, I'll cover key data and which pairs to watch from July 29th to August 2nd, 2024. As you can see, I've already shared my screen. I'm using the economic calendar from the traders room at Markets4U. I've set the dates from July 29th to August 2nd, covering Monday to Friday. Just a reminder, I'm using GMT, so please adjust to your respective time zone. Now, let's go over this week's market events. On Monday, Switzerland will release its retail sales data for June, both on a monthly and yearly basis. Additionally, the US will present the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index for July. Japan will also release its unemployment rate for June. Moving on to Tuesday, the Eurozone will report its GDP growth rate for Q2, both quarterly and yearly. In the US, the CB Consumer Confidence Index for July will be observed. Meanwhile, it's a busy day for Japan with the release of retail sales for June, both monthly and yearly, and industrial production for June. Continuing on Wednesday, we will see the Bank of Japan interest rate decision and consumer confidence for July in Japan. For the Eurozone, key releases include the inflation rate for July, both monthly and yearly, and the core inflation rate for July. In the US, we'll have the ADP employment change for July. Canada will release its GDP data for May. The day will also feature the Chicago PMI for July and the much-anticipated Fed interest rate decision, followed by the Fed press conference. Thursday brings data from the Eurozone, including the unemployment rate for June. In the UK, the Bank of England interest rate decision will be in focus. The US will also release initial jobless claims for the week ending July 27th, and the ISM manufacturing PMI for July. Finally, on Friday, Switzerland will release its inflation rate for July, both monthly and yearly. For the US, key events include non-farm payrolls for July, the unemployment rate for July, and average hourly earnings for July. Additionally, factory orders for June will be observed. For this week, the key events to watch are the Fed's rate decision, the employment data from the US highlighted by the non-farm payrolls report, and the interest rate decisions from the Bank of England and the Bank of Japan. Now, let's move to the charts for this week. Today, I'm going to discuss two currency pairs that will be most affected by this week's main events, GBP USD and USD JPY. The interest rate decisions from the Fed, the Bank of England, and the Bank of Japan, along with several US economic events, will significantly impact these pairs. Let's start with the weekly chart of GBP USD. You can see that GBP USD moved lower for the past 2 weeks. However, the stochastic indicator is trying to cross lower near the overbought area. This indicates there's a possibility of a potential downward reversal. Therefore, I expect GBP USD to move slightly lower this week towards the support levels. Now, let's switch to the daily chart. The daily chart shows that the price has been moving lower, with the stochastic moving inside the oversold area. This suggests that the price might consolidate for a few days but then continue to move lower towards the nearest support levels at 1.2777 and 1.2682. Resistance levels are set at 1.2940 and 1.3044. If the price moves according to our analysis, we could see a movement of 80 to 150 pips this week. Next, let's move on to the weekly chart of USD JPY. The pair moved strongly lower last week, reaching the last low in April. The stochastic indicator moving strongly lower, targeting the oversold area, supports the possibility that the price might move lower. Switching to the daily chart, we can see that the candles have been consolidating after a strong lower move on Wednesday, and the stochastic is consolidating lower near the oversold area. This suggests that the price might continue to move lower and attempt to reach the support levels. Our support levels are at 151.93 and 149.38, while the resistance levels are at 154.80 and 157.44. If the price moves according to our analysis, we might see a movement of 100 to 200 pips this week. Please remember to manage your risk before entering any positions. That's it for this week's technical analysis. See you in the next analysis video.